was it a really emotional journey for you, or was it because you had already done Cartel Land and Ghosts of Raqqa, you'd spent a lot of time, Portugal, making films about Syria, were you kind of prepared for it in that sense?
Yeah, I guess you're never totally prepared for anything. You try to be as prepared as you can be. I think, I love making films because it takes you on a journey, and you get to dive into this world every couple of years and explore that world and be confounded by that world and moved by that world and challenged by that world. And this film was no exception. I feel a huge responsibility in making films. I feel a huge privilege to be able to make films. And I feel like, especially in this fractured world that we live in, film has the ability to bring people together. And I hope that this film, like Marie's writing, makes people stop and think for a moment about the world we're living in. And I think one of the tragedies for me in the film, I think they sadly pointed out as well, is that she died in Syria in 2012, and that tragedy has persisted until today. As you saw in the film, 500,000 people have been killed since then, and I think she'd be, if she were alive today, devastated by that. She might be in Idlib or somewhere else right now.
She'd be in Yemen.
Or Yemen, yeah. So.
Any more questions? Yeah, we've got two in the middle, the lady in pink and then the lady in black. So why don't we have the red microphone to the lady in pink and the blue one to the lady in black, and we'll see whoever gets the microphone first gets to speak first. And it's the lady in black.
Paul, a question for you and also one for Matt. How did you become involved in this project? You mentioned there were various ones that were in the running. And Matt, how did you navigate the friends and family, and sort of everyone had and which, in terms of which story to tell and which scenes to capture?
I got a call from Matt. I think it was City of Ghosts was coming out, and Matt was screening at the Front Line Club, a Germans club in London, and he asked if I'd do a Q&A with him, which I was delighted to do. I'd not long seen Cartel Land, and you'd not long read me book, and I thought, great, great documentary. Like, I was really, really proud to go and talk about City of Ghosts. And it's also the night I met Rose. So we kind of met at the Front Line Club, and it was a bit like, we all knew there were a few projects going on, and Matt just said, would you want to get involved? And as soon as I got clearance, I think I messaged Lindsey and said, speak to Kat, Marie's sister, and say, this film is actually, because there were a few films that were running in parallel that may have been made or may not be made, and it was, as soon as it was apparent it was being made, then of course, I'm so glad I got involved. I mean, really, from the
you also gave your name because of first.
Yeah, it was, I think I was someone else, some Joe Bloggs or someone, and I was like, alright, well, of course I want to, proud to be associated with Marie, but it was, I think it was the best thing I've done, since doing that work with Marie, to be, just the kind of the whole feel amongst every single member of from Matt down to the last person in Jordan, the whole feeling on the film was, Marie was the guiding light, nothing would shake anybody off that.
But I think the second one of your question is really interesting, maybe Matt can take that, which is, because there are so many stories to tell about Marie, and you didn't have childhood and adolescence, and you didn't have, there was so, how did you choose what to focus on?
Very quickly, I just want to say, Rosamund, Jamie, and I, and everyone really on this production owe so much to Paul and what he brought to the film, and he was sort of this living, breathing inspiration for all of us as to why we were making it. And he was supposed to be on set for, I think, 3 or 4 days, and then he kind of never left. So he's still.
It's a bit like that when he comes to stay.
Coming today.
But yeah, no, it was difficult to sort of figure out the goalposts, if you will, of the beginning and the end. I guess for me, I never was interested in making a biopic. I sort of detest that word. I really wanted to make I guess, a psychological thriller, a sort of examination of what drives somebody to go to the most dangerous places on earth, to tell these stories, and then the effects that that had on her mentally and physically, and you know, starting before she lost her eye, which is obviously very traumatic. You know, life-altering moment was just a very natural place to start.
Yeah. Yes, lady in pink, wasn't it?